Oh, well, this is my first time doing a tier list and also my first time recording everything I watched. This isn't obviously everything I watched. It's just what I noted and wanted to put down. I obviously watched more movies, but I didn't think they were relevant. Same with shows. I didn't really think they were that relevant, or like if I barely watched it, I wasn't gonna add to it. So we have my sections for obviously the top is peak for the best, good, okay for like the mid ones, and boring for the boring shows, and then oh my god, sorry for that, but the bad ones I put as Avatar for Netflix, so you already know where that one's gonna go. First up, we have, I believe it's called the Migan, or Mijnan. It was like a BL type of movie. I think I'd watched it before, but like I dropped it because like I didn't find it interesting, and I wasn't really into that type of stuff. I watched it fully this time. I was bored and I had nothing to do and it was late at night. I was like, I'm already halfway through this. Might as well just finish it. So I did. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't a horrible watch. I would say it was okay. I wouldn't watch it again. But it wasn't horrible. Next we have Hidden Away. It's about, I guess, there's gonna be slight spoilers. Actually, this is a spoiler show. This is a spoiler event. Midget's about like a vampire guy who dates a guy that's not a vampire, basically. It's deeper than that, but like, it's basically a BL if you want to like BLs. That's an okay one to watch. But Hidden Away is also about, two boys that like each other. Well, they're like 16-ish. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was honestly pretty good, so I'm putting it in good, and it was enjoyable. I wouldn't say watch this if you like want something super happy. I liked how it showed racism in Spain because I'm pretty sure this takes place like in the 90s because you don't really see any phones anywhere. I think it takes place in like the early 2000s or 90s. I liked the show. I liked the movie. It wasn't, it didn't feel rushed and it also didn't feel like too cliche. So I liked watching it. So if you were gonna watch a movie, I would say watch this one. This one was pretty good. Next up we have Fireworks. Also another gay movie. This one's about two guys in Italy, I believe. They're also around the same age as the one in Hidden Away. Hidden Away takes in Spain. This one takes place in like, I think it's like the 70s or 80s in Italy where it's like super homophobic. And you kind of just follow, I forgot, the black guy's hair's name, but him and how he's discriminated against for being gay and then like the repercussions that happen to the other boy for being around him. This one also was actually enjoyable because the thing about queer movies, they've gotten better now, or gay movies. But like, if you want to watch good ones, I would say watch foreign ones. Like, if you're from the States, I would say watch anything, basically anything from Europe, anything from Asia, anywhere else. I've never watched, I don't think, one from any country from, Africa. I have watched some from Latin America, I'm not gonna lie. But basically anything that's foreign, it'll most likely be good. They've gotten way better now, but basically back then, I basically didn't have anything to watch when I was younger, like this. So like, I watched them, even though like I don't really relate to them that much because I'm older now, they're still really enjoyable to watch. And these are like something I would like to watch when I was younger, and even though some of them you shouldn't be watching when you were younger. Because back then, like, you couldn't be find anything. They were all like cheesy or take you to porn when you weren't trying to watch them. The next film is also another one. It's called Sublime. This one was okay. Like, honestly, it wasn't anything memorable. I think it's in Argentina or Spain, but it wasn't that memorable. I think they're in a band. They are in a band, but I don't remember exactly how it turns out. But like, yeah, I think like one of them likes the other one and then like they end up liking each other or they actually did like him. I don't remember, honestly. It was kind of boring, but not enough to put it in boring because it was actually enjoyable. I wouldn't say it was great, but it was enjoyable. I Love You More. Now this one was boring. I know I say like representation matters and like obviously because all of these are from different countries, you should be able to watch like a movie from your country to like you can see yourself in it. Like I just said, when I was younger, I would want to watch these. This one was so boring. I think it's like from a small country in Europe, but it was so boring. Honestly, the main character was also not likable for me. So I would say skip it. It was boring. Don't waste your time. If you're gonna watch one of these, watch Fireworks or Hidden Away. They were way better than this one. and had a way deeper story in my opinion. This one also was more of a shorter film too, because I don't want to like dog on it so much because I think it was like a personal experience of like the director or something living in a small country. Because I don't even remember the country's name. It was like a small country like Europe. The next show I watched was Dune Prophecy. And once I heard it was coming out, I already knew I was gonna watch it because I liked the movies were pretty good, and also the sisterhood is something that I find interesting. So yeah, I actually enjoyed watching Dune Prophecy. If anything, the most boring parts were related to like the younger ones. So like I forgot his name, but Atreides and like the princess. I kind of wanted more from their storyline, but we're probably gonna get that in season 2. There's also some other things that I'm like a little not plot armory, but they were boring, kinda, like the dude, what was his name? The guy that, the fire thing? He was kind of like, the actor, I don't know how I feel about that actor, if I'll be honest. Or his portrayal, towards the end, I started liking him more, or enjoying his character more, but yeah. Next, you have Heavenly Delusions. I haven't even been seeing where I've been putting them, have I? Well, you're seeing. Also, this one goes in good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything. I kind of went into it blind. I just heard of it and wanted to watch it, so I watched it. It was an anime. If you want a short anime you want to watch and you like, I guess, science fiction, mysteries, watch this one. It was pretty good. After that, we have Right There. This is a Norwegian show. Don't waste your time. There's a reason it's an avatar of this tier list. It was so bad. Season 1 was its best season. After that, it just gets worse and worse and worse, bro. It was so bad. I have about like 3 hours of audio for this show that I don't know if I'm gonna put out because I don't think anyone would watch it because my more popular shows I'm not getting views on, so I don't want to waste literally probably like 3 weeks editing that thing. If anything, I'll just upload the audio raw and like just put some random ass background to it. It was literally so bad. Because I was gonna talk about it, like Prisma, I talked about how like gay stuff in like the media form. It was so bad, and it is just queerbaiting basically. Just don't waste your time. I can spoil it right now for you. One of them is gay, one of them is not. It's bullshit. Though then once it becomes gay, they basically cut the character out of the whole show, and he's the big character. Next. And also one is literally boring as fuck. My Hero, the newest season, is what I watched. I didn't finish it. I just kinda got bored out of it. My Hero is like a weird love-hate relationship with it because it's like, I find it boring sometimes, but then also I don't feel that I'm its target audience. Like, I don't really like that cutesy type stuff. Some of it is good. I think the Toroki part of it is interesting, and like the Kachan stuff was interesting. That's basically what's been having me come back. And what's his name? Deku is not a like horrible main character either. But I just find it boring sometimes. So it's kind of a show that I have to binge. So I might binge it now. I think I'm pretty sure it's over, and I was gonna get like a hiatus because I think the manga ended. I think they're gonna make it all the anime now. But I don't know. I might just finish it, binge it one of these days, and then add it to this year list. Because I think I'm gonna make the same list this year as well. Prisma. Oh my god, what's with these shows getting worse after the first season? If you didn't watch, I have a video on it. And I have a video on season 1 and season 2. I haven't uploaded season 2 because I haven't edited season 2. Because, again, I don't think it's gonna get views. Oh my god. Was this show so bad? Season 2 went such downhill. Right now, it's an okay because of season 1. If it wasn't because of season 1, it would have probably been boring. Wouldn't be correct. I guess it would still be okay. But if season 2 wasn't bad, I would have put it in good. Even though season 1 still had its problems. Next, we have House of the Dragon. Again, it wasn't perfect. I don't agree because even when I made my video on it, I had like a higher standard of the show. But like even looking back, it's like I looked over some stuff because one, I already knew stuff about it. So like it was me putting in my already known knowledge into these characters, and it wasn't the characters being built by the show that made them likable. It was me already knowing about these characters that made them who the characters are. Because there's basically no character development. Hopefully season 3 is better. They can't try to change my mind that they cut part of season 2. Because where is that Bela scene? How are you gonna put a scene of Bela flying on that dragon? And I know they cut stuff all the time from production, from trailer. I know that scene was going to be for something that's in season 3. I just know it. You hear me out now. That Bela scream at the dragon is from something in season 3. It's probably gonna happen episode 1. At the latest, episode 2. I put it in good because it was still a good show. Actually, no, I put it in okay. Never mind, I put it in good. It's still enjoyable, but I don't know. Going in good. Next, we watched Foundation. So I watched season one and like maybe two episodes of season two. Season one was definitely better. I think I would have enjoyed it more if they kept like the super young, like the kid version and like the guy in the 20s. And then, well, he's not in his 20s, that man is in his 40s. And, like the old man. But it makes sense why they were taking him out because he would age up and then they couldn't like, and kids being and stuff like that. So like they hired like that older actor for season two, I believe. And I found it got boring, honestly, because what's her name? The mathematician girl? She was interesting. The whole idea of what are they called? Foundation God? They're like the gods or whatever they're called. Emperor was interesting. I just didn't like the daughter of the mathematician girl. In season two, I think her whole story is boring. I think she was in season one. I honestly can't remember right now, but her storyline is just boring to me. And also, I don't really like her character because it reminds me if you watch The 100 of Hope. There's something about those type of characters that like rubs me the wrong way. So I'm putting it in okay because I found the season one enjoyable, but season two was not enjoyable. That's why I dropped it. It was just kind of boring. And next we have the 3-body problem. And my problem is that it was boring. It was just boring. Boring, the writing was pretty bad, the dialogue was trash. Honestly, could have wasted or saved, I think it was like 6 hours of my time by not watching that show. Next, Young Royals. Woo! The final season 3. It was good. Honestly, I don't agree with everything in that show. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. Like how I went over it already in my video. How it's very superficial about like the politics of it all. But yeah, I'm putting it in good. Next we have Devil's Line. It was an anime that I've watched years ago that I never finished. I think I watched it like 2023 or 2022. And then like I kept watching an episode through these whole years. And I finished it off this year. Honestly, it was boring. I just finished it just to like note it that I finished it. Next we have Tokyo Ghoul. Same thing. I rewatched, I believe the first and second season. No, first one. It's just the first one. And the other two seasons were boring. Honestly, same thing with the other shows. Season one was my favorite. I kind of just didn't like, I don't know if it was different in the manga, but they just kept adding characters that like, bro, why don't you just develop the ones that are already here? Like you're adding characters every other season that I don't care about. And then even in like this last season, they were like bringing up people. I'm like, am I supposed to know who this is? Well, they were fighting, but it's not like reading where you're like, this is like a level, whatever they were like classifying them as, ranked, whatever. It was boring. It's going boring. In the last show, well, actually not the last show. The last show I added because I forgot to add Arcane. Last show is Shogun. You know where it's going. It's going in peak. I enjoyed this show. This is probably one of the best shows I watched this year. After that, it was Arcane, but in Arcane, let's just pretend it's going in good. Because technically we're ranking the season we watched, right? We haven't actually. We've been going off like earlier seasons, so right now we're just gonna put it in good. Because I wouldn't even say it was peak, even if we included season one. I enjoyed it watching it. It was rushed. It honestly was. Mal's character could have been developed a little bit more. At first I didn't really like how like her and Jace kinda just, it was gone, but their relationship was never super deep. Victor was always his main priority. This guy. I did enjoy it. But that part also, like, I just didn't like Victor's storyline, if I'm being honest with you. It's just, I always hate that, like, that god turning character. I don't know how to explain it except again to like the 100. How like they had that ascending stuff. I think that's boring. I think they could have made it more interesting if they went towards, again, looking at the classist, and like the, oppression of the Undercity and stuff like that. And Victor could have been a good example of that because he was someone from the Undercity that moved up, and I think it would have been more interesting if they connected that back to his illness and disability and how, like, something around that and then made it more, like, into something like that. That was basically my main grime, other than, like, it feeling rushed. Other than that, it was a good show, and I enjoyed it. So I forgot to add another one, which was La Academia. It's like on Amazon Prime. It's another gay one. And basically I think I would put it on It's Okay. Honestly, it wasn't that interesting. I was bamboozled. Literally, this is when I found it too, by an edit, like most of the ones that I find. Basically, the edit was literally the first like two episodes. It was literally the one episode that the pair, quote unquote, gets along. This one is also kind of like it's not a love interest one. So if you wanna watch one with a love interest, I wouldn't say watch this one. This one's more about one person discovering themselves and then like liking a straight boy. That's kind of it. So don't let these little edits try to trick you. I don't know why they do that. And then they're like, oh, I don't know. It's a maybe will they, maybe won't they, or like it has a happy ending, or like the ending is happy, or like try to trick you into watching it, into thinking like they're a pair. Like, stop being weird. 'Cause, like so many people in the comments were asking like, do they end up together in the end? And they were like, it's a happy ending, or like they said some weird like they were trying to be mysterious in how it ends. This one and also the writer one, like, bro, just say what it is. If they're asking you. They obviously don't care about getting spoiled. And honestly, you should know that by watching, like, if they added to like the same four clips or like the same clip or can only make a minute of the little edit, maybe that's what gives you a clue that it's not going to be a little love story if that's what you're looking for. The story, honestly, so they had a lot of subplots going on. I think they had too many subplots in that show to actually build good stories. What do I mean? So they had a lot of different characters. Like they had him, they had another one that was like coming from poverty and going to this rich school, you know, basic same old, same old. They also had like a queer one with her, and like this weird ass coach discriminating against the girls. And then they also had like a girl who was like a tryhard and like I think she had like anxiety or something. And then oh, they had her brother had anxiety. Like they were trying to juggle a lot of these different topics that shows are trying, quote unquote, trying to be inclusive by hitting all these demographics and hitting all these different points like mental illness or like different stuff like LGBT or whatever. But they just do a shitty job of trying to put it on screen. They're just putting it there in the show just to get a check mark instead of actually developing the characters to make it meaningful and actually show good representation of these things. I will say some of the anxiety scenes in that show were pretty accurate-ish, but like it was like they could have been more subtle. It was literally kind of a montage. In the end, I'll be honest, I skipped around a lot in the show because I found it boring. I came here for one thing, it was to watch this couple, and it wasn't even a couple. If they have a season two, I might watch. Like, it didn't end horribly. Like, I'm saying like a lot. That's annoying. He ends up being outed, or yeah, basically being outed himself, and also like outed by basically his dad and then his stupid friend. So what I just don't because he has a man's, but like then he didn't want to be with him because like you know soccer and CrossFit and stuff like that. I would put it in okay. That's it. I would put it in okay. I don't think I'm missing any more shows that I want to talk about. And that's everything I watched this year. I'm going to do this probably again next year because I want to. And also I'm gonna try to keep a better track of everything that I watch. I honestly didn't watch that much stuff this year because I've been busy, but let me know if also like, cause obviously a lot of the, half of the stuff out here is gay shit. So if you want me to give recommendations or something, because I've watched a pretty decent amount. The bad thing is that like I would probably have to rewatch them to tell you if they're good or not, because some of them are like years old and I don't know if like teenager me agrees with the same show that I'm telling you to watch now. But yeah, let me know and remember all I do is lie.